Beautiful morning to you, children. You welcome to Divine Offspring International School virtual classroom. Today in mathematics, we'll be looking at a very interesting topic, and actually is a continuation of what we had last week. Okay, today we'll be looking at multiplication of simple equation. Multiplication of simple equation. Okay, last week we looked at subtraction of simple equation. Right. Okay, now let's look at some of the keywords to note. Some of the keywords for you to note. The first one you take note of: unknown, variable, equation, products, and coefficient. Coefficient. Now I need you to look up these words in your dictionary, right? Okay. Now the materials needed for this lesson includes a book. You also need a pen or a pencil. You also need your brain. Then I will need you to quickly pause this video and go get these materials. Your brain is always with you, and make sure you stay in a quiet room. Okay, now a big question. This is actually an unknown sign, a question mark. Now there's something here I need you to read. Wow, this is actually a story. I'll need you to listen as it goes. I am Mr. Unknown. All over the world, there is always a way and a need to find me. I come in different values, shapes, and colors. Do you want to know the secret to finding me? Come along. Okay, to find Mr. Unknown, we make use of algebra. All you need to do is write the problem as an equation and then solve it. Simple. Ta-da! Okay. Now let's look at parts of an equation. Part of an equation. Now, an equation has different parts, just as you have different parts of your body. We have your hands, your ears, your eyes, your nose, your mouth, your hands, your body, every part of your body. Just as you have a part of a body, likewise you have the part of an equation. Now let's look at some of the parts of an equation. Now we have 2x plus 4 is equal to 16. Now what are the parts? I'm going to show you the parts now. We have the coefficient, the variable, and the constant. We're still coming back to show you the parts. We have 2 is the coefficient. 2 represents the coefficient. X is the variable, which is the Mr. Unknown. And 4 is the constant. Now let's show you the arrow. The first part of an equation is the coefficient. You can see the arrow pointing to coefficient. The x is the variable, while the 4 means constant. And anytime you see 2 very close to a letter, that 2 is called coefficient. Why that letter is called a variable or Mr. Unknown. Good. And every number that stands on its own, which is the 4, is called the constant. Also 16 is actually a constant in one way, but that is actually the result. Then what it means is that 2 times x plus 4 gives us what? Gives us 16. Okay, then we are going to see how to solve this when we move on to multiplication of equation. Okay, now quickly look at this quiz. Find the value of y in this. Now before this, remember that the opposite of multiplication is division. The opposite of multiplication is division. Please don't forget. Now look at this quiz. Find the value of y in 4y is equal to 24. 4y is equal to 24. Okay. Now, 4y means 4 times y. The sign joining 4y together is multiplication. Then we have 4 times y is equal to 24. Then what do we have now? 4y is equal to what? 24. Remember that the opposite of multiplication is division. Then that means I'm going to divide both sides by what? By the value of 4. That's the coefficient. Then we have 4y divided by 4 is equal to 24 divided by 4. Then I'm dividing both sides by what? By 4. Right? Because the opposite of multiplication is division. Then dividing that will get 6. Remember what I said, the opposite of multiplication is what? Is division. That's actually why we are dividing. Now you may ask the question that why are we not dividing both sides by 24? We are not doing that because 24 does not carry a variable. Then the number very close to the variable is what we are going to use to divide both sides. Now let's see if our answer is correct. 4 times 6 gives us what? 24. Right? Okay. Now let's move on to the next one. Kevina has 10 marbles of the same size. If they all weigh 60 grams, what is the weight of each marble? Kevina has 10 marbles of the same size. If they all weigh 60 grams, what is the weight of each marble? What is the weight of each marble? Okay, then we have a solution. Let the weight of each marble be represented with M. It's actually an unknown. We don't know them. Then we can just say let the weight of each marble be represented with M. And M times 10 gives us what? 60. Right? Remember, the opposite of multiplication is what? Division. Then what do we have now? M will be equal to what? 60 divided by 10. That gives us 6. That means the weight of each of the marble is 6. Okay. Now, we move on to the next one. We have this question. Miss Ugoji jumped 5 times. If at the end she covered 15 meters, find the length one jump covers. Miss Ugoji jumped 5 times. If at the end she covered 15 meters, find the length one jump covers. Now we have 15 meters covered. 15 meter covered. Okay. Then let the length of one jump be represented by J. Let the length of one jump be represented by J. Then we have the jumps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then what would be one jump? One jump would be what? Let's say the one jump is J. Then we have 5 times J is equal to 15. Now we have an equation, right? Now the opposite of multiplication is what? Beautiful, division. Then we have 5 times J is equal to 15. Then the coefficients there would definitely move to the other side to divide, right? Then we have J is equal to 15 divided by 5. That gives us 3. That means one jump covers what? 3 meters. Okay. Then let's move on to the next one. A summary of what we've learned today. We've actually seen the multiplication in equation. We've also seen the opposite, that the opposite of multiplication is division. And also we've solved problems on multiplication in equation. Then I'll need you to pause this video if you think you still do not understand, to replay it again. Attached to this video is some worksheets. Then I'll need you to answer and submit to your class teacher. So I come your way next week. I remain Math Magician Etim Emmanuel. Bye.